What if I told you that the purpose of setting goals is not to achieve them? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of goal setting. I love setting and achieving goals. And quite often as coaches and leaders, the first question we need to ask is, what do we want? Which is a goal setting question. But if we just think that the purpose of setting goals is to achieve them, then we're missing something very important. And this is the topic I talk about routinely with my clients. In fact, recently I started working with a president of a medium-sized business. And the reason we're working together is he was feeling frustrated because they fell short of the targets they set last year. And understand, last year was a banner year for the company. It was the highest revenue they've had in 30 years, greatest amount of profitability, yet still he was disappointed. Why? Because they didn't hit the goal. So I asked, how close were you? And they said they were at 95% of the target they set. And so even though it was the best year ever, they were still disappointed, not because of the results, because of the comparison they were making to the goal that they set. And so we had this conversation where I shared that what he was missing was the real purpose of setting goals. And so I said, think about this for a moment. What would it mean to you if you and your company hit every goal that you ever set? He thought about it and said, well, that would mean I'm setting the bar too low. And what would it mean if you never hit a goal? So, well, then we're obviously setting the bar too high. So of course we want to hit our goals, but if we're hitting every goal, we're not thinking big enough. And if we never hit a goal, we're setting ourselves up for failure. And then we beat ourselves up about it. And if you think about it, goals are just guesses. Even if you pull out a spreadsheet and do a linear regression, it's still just a guess. And one of the problems that we have is that we set up the conditions for success. Then we forget that we created the goal and then use that to be critical about ourselves for not hitting the goal. So whether we hit the goal or not, it's just feedback. So if the purpose of setting goals is not just to hit the goals, what is the real purpose of setting goals? Number one is clarity. It gives us a sense of direction. Where are we going? Which allows us to make better decisions, to help us get closer to where we want to go, and ultimately prioritize the things that we spend time on. We can ask ourselves, will this help me achieve the goal or not? And if it doesn't, then we can save that for later, delegate it, or just don't do it altogether. Number two is growth. So a good goal is going to cause you to stretch, it's going to cause you to dig deep and really see what you're made of. In addition to that, you also develop habits along the way. So if you or your client is trying to lose weight, for example, even if they don't hit the weight loss target, they're developing habits that will help them be better going forward. So if you're on the path and you're developing good habits, the tragedy is not falling short of the goal. The tragedy is when you give up on all the progress you've made along the way. Another purpose of setting goals is fun. Pursuing goals is a lot of fun. It also brings out a little bit of competitiveness, even if it's with yourself and your past performance or with someone else. As an example, you can go out and shoot hoops by yourself, and that certainly can be fun. But if you have someone else to play with and do a little one-on-one, that can be fun and also can be very challenging. And number four is feedback. Even though goals are guesses, they give us a benchmark to help us determine how well we're doing and adjust our approach accordingly. So you want to set your goals really well. Not too high, not too low. You want to set your goals in the, dare I say it, Goldilocks zone. Terrible, I know, but hopefully you'll remember it. So we want to find that balance between achievability and challenge. In fact, before you even set a goal, you might want to think about what type of goal do you really want to set? And we can begin to think about them as three different types. And the first type is a stretch goal. This is a goal perhaps that you've never achieved before, that's outside your comfort zone, that might even be a little bit unrealistic because you want to stretch yourself. You want to put yourself in a place where you have to make it happen, you create some urgency, and you really push yourself beyond whatever you've done before. The second type of goal is on the other end of the spectrum, which is the momentum goal. This is where the bar is really low, and the intention is to create some positive wins, to create momentum and build habits. So as an example, in exercise, if you haven't been to the gym in a while, instead of saying you're going to go to the gym every day for 7 days, commit to going once. Build the habit, make a win, and then next week, make it twice. And then the following week, 3 times, and go to the ideal level because you're building up that momentum, you're building up the habits in a way that's safe, ecological, and builds on previous wins. And the last type of goal is the balance goal. This is the Goldilocks zone, where it's not too hot of a goal and not too cold, where you're really going to push yourself out of your comfort zone, but not to the extent that you're going to get burnout. You're going to set yourself up to challenge yourself, see what you're capable of, but also make sure that you're not failing every single time. And now that we know that there's more to setting goals than just achieving them, let me know in the comment section below, What's a goal that you're working on right now, and what type of goal is it? Is it a stretch goal? Is it a momentum goal? Or is it perhaps even a balance goal? And if you'd like help in achieving that goal, schedule some time on my calendar. I'll put a link down in the description. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, develop yourself, empower others, and lead by example.